Yeah, so I'm just really excited to be here today to help everybody really plan out kind of how they can map out the next school year with Kahoot at school. And I'm here, we're going to see some great presentations from some of the crew members here today. So really excited for them to actually showcase some of the new product developments and features, which I hear some people are really excited to hear about today. The way we're going to do this basically is we're going to do this over kind of 2 days. So the first day is, of course, today we're going to be looking at what's coming up this back to school for teachers and students. And then tomorrow, same time, same place, but tomorrow we're going to have a bonus round for teachers. We have so much cool stuff for teachers. We did an extra day. Plus, we will have some really great new updates for Kahoot EDU for admins. So, hey, if you have some admins out there who want to learn a bit more about Kahoot, please bring them along. We would love to tell them a bit more about that. Also, as I think Hannah and Nicholas already pointed out pretty well, if you have any questions at all, we have a bunch of amazing crew members standing by who would love to answer your questions. So just drop those questions into the chat and we're more than happy to help out. And also another little tip, in this presentation at least, we're going to have some QR codes and some websites. So great idea to have your phone handy to sort of capture some of those as we move along. So let's kick things off with part one. Sound good? I'm pretty sure the chat is exploding, so that's great. Let's get going. It's just so for everyone who's just really sort of getting to know Kahoot, we've been around since 2013, and it's been our mission to make learning awesome. We really have an award-winning portfolio of apps and services really at your disposal, and they're all here to make learning fun, impactful, and engaging. And these apps are trusted by teachers, admins, and of course students around the world. And I think what's really great about these next couple of days is you're going to get a really good, I think, flavor for all of these different services. And we're really all about, of course, trying to make learning playful and powerful for you guys every day. And for the 9 million teachers like yourselves, most of you out there at least, we really want to give you guys more tools, a broader teacher toolkit, if you will, to deliver awesome end-to-end review and instruction. For students, hundreds of millions of students, of course, are using Kahoot for participation, but they're also increasingly using it for self-study and also for creation. And we're going to spend a bit of time on that a little bit later today and also tomorrow as well, as that's a big area for our back to school development. And last but certainly not least is the tens of thousands of school admins out there that really want to have engagement and assessment at scale right across their institutions. And so we'll go in depth on Kahoot EDU and all the great new things we have coming up for that this upcoming back to school. And I heard some people in the chat that were really excited about Clever, and I'm also pretty excited about Clever. And as you guys might have heard, Clever joined the Kahoot family last year. And we're really super proud really to be together with Clever in the top 7 of the Learn Platforms EdTech top 40. We even managed to tick up a couple of spots this last school year. So really, this is just a big, sincere thank you and a big thank you to everyone out there that's supported Kahoot and Clever. And certainly you're going to hear more from Clever in a bit about how we're working together. So without further ado, let's have a look at what's coming up this back to school. And so this is just sort of a little map for you guys to follow along. So we have awesome new features coming up. So the first we're going to cover off is around teachers. We have some awesome new question types. I think we might have played a few of those. We snuck a few of those into the initial Kahoot. So that's, we'll play a few more of those and hear about a bit more about those in a minute. We have some cool new game modes that are in development now, so we're going to hear about that. Courses update. So spilling over into day 2, we have building out on our interactive lessons platform for courses, and also whiteboard.fi updates for tomorrow. Today, for students, we have expanded creator access, access to all of our amazing family of learning apps. We also have some really cool new things coming up for math labs and puzzles. We have something top secret. I'm not going to spoil it here, but it's coming up. I'm really excited about it. You're going to hear about it in a few minutes. And last but certainly not least, for school admins, all those awesome new updates for Kahoot EDU. So to kick things off for teachers, I wanted to introduce to you my good colleague, Porik. Are you there, Porik?
Hey, how you doing, Sean?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Great, and hello to everybody across the world. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's new for teachers. So for the last couple of years, we've spent time building out the Kahoot platform with features that can allow teachers to use Kahoot as an integral part of their daily lessons. And we're consistently looking for new ways to engage students and ultimately to improve learning outcomes. And with that, I'm really happy to show you 3 of the new question types that we've been working on recently and that are ready for back to school. The first feature I'd like to share with you is the 6th answer option. This is something that teachers and students have been requesting for some time. We currently have a limitation of 4 answer options for both poll and quiz questions. It's now possible to have up to 6 answer options for both poll and quiz questions. This feature is available today as a free trial with Kahoot Pro, so check it out. The next question type I'd like to share with you is called Slider. Slider is a question type designed specifically for questions where the answer is a number. Participants guess the number by moving along a scale and deciding on the number to submit as their answer. This feature is available also today as a free trial with Kahoot Premium. The final question type I'd like to share with you is called Drop Pin. So drop pin is a poll type question, so there's no correct answer. Students simply drop a pin on the image. It's a very versatile question type because it can be used in many ways, and some of which I'll show now in a quick demo. This feature is available later this week as a free trial with Kahoot Premium. So now I'll show you some of the ways that you can use these new features. Here's a quick demo. So here you can see we're in the Kahoot Creator. I clicked on the Add Question option. And from the list here, you can see the new question types. Here's the slider question type, and here is the drop pin question type. And it's the poll question type and quiz question type are the 2 questions that have gotten the option to add 6 answer options. So I've made some pre-made questions I'd like to show you for each of these question types. So here is a poll question type. And as you can see, there are now 6 answer options for this poll question. This is particularly important for poll questions where having a limit of 4 options can be quite constraining. Now you can have up to 6 answer options. And likewise with a quiz question, you can now have 6 answers for a quiz question. And as you can see, it's also possible to add images as answers for these quiz questions. That's the 6 answer options for poll and quiz. The next one I'd like to show you is the slider question type. So this is a question type where the participants need to guess the answer. And the answer is a number. So here you have a question, what is 4 times 7? The answer is 28. You can set a minimum value and a maximum value. Here is another example, simpler one. What is 5 minus 2? The answer is 3, and you can set the minimum and maximum value. And finally, the last example is how many moons does Jupiter have? So here you can see 79 is the answer, and the blue range here is actually the answer margin. We optionally, the creator can set the answer margin to none, so the participants have to get the correct answer to get points, or they can give a level of a margin for partially correct answers. So if I set a medium margin, it will allow participants that answer in this range to get points. So I can quickly show you what that looks like in a game. So the timer is running down, the participants are choosing their number on their device. And when the timer runs out, the answers are revealed. And one of the strengths of this question type is you can see the range of incorrect answers. So the teacher can explain why the answer is the answer and can learn from the data as to how the students answered. And here you can see the range of answers that are allowed to have partial points, whereas the green bar indicates the correct answer. So that's the slider question type. The next one up is the drop pin question type. It's a very versatile question. Here you have a question about feelings. So how are you feeling today? And the participants will be asked to put a pin on the image indicating how they are feeling today. The next example would be, what is your favorite color? And again, participants would pin the image to say what their favorite color is. And the advantage here again is that the teacher and class get an overview over the opinions of the class and what their favorite color is in this case. The last example for this question type I have is, what position on a soccer pitch do you prefer? And I can preview this one so you can see what it will look like when the participants add the pin to the map or to the image. So as the timer runs down, participants are adding the pins, and when the timer runs out, you can see then the pins that all of the participants added to the image. So there you go. That was a quick demo of the 3 new question types available on the Kahoot platform. We have 6 answer options and the slider question type already available today on the platform for you to check out. And we have the drop pin question type that will be available later this week for you to try. So check it out. You can also play some of these questions in the coffee Kahoots that we're going to host later today. So yes, please stick around and play some of the coffee Kahoots because you can get a chance to play these new question types. I have one more thing to share with you. We're really excited about this one in Kahoot. It's something that both teachers and students have really been asking of us for the last few months. It is new game modes. So we've been working on 3 new game modes that we hope to have ready for back to school. We're trying to create new, fun and interactive ways to play and learn using the millions and millions and millions of Kahoots on the Kahoot platform. So here you can see some of the artwork from one of these game modes that will be ready for back to school. It's a pirate theme with treasure and yeah, things you can collect. So yes, we are making game modes and we really need your help because we want to test this thoroughly before we launch. So if you would like to become a game mode beta tester for Kahoot, you can sign up by accessing the form either through the QR code by scanning this image, or we'll share also in the link in the chat the link to the form for sign up. So please sign up and please help us to create new game modes. That's it from me. Back to you, Sean.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Porrick. And please do join up to that beta program to give us your feedback on our new beta or on our new game modes. We're really excited about being able to bring those to your learners this back to school. All right, so that really concludes the first part of New for Teachers. So again, join us tomorrow for part 2 for courses update and the whiteboard.fi update. So let's change things up and look at what's coming up for students. And I'm super excited to see how we can really make learning even more student-centric and even more student-paced, in fact, going into next school year. So to get us started, we have Alex and Maida. Hey, Alex.
Hi, Sean. How are you?
I'm great. Take it away.
All right. Thank you. So let's have a look at the next slide and start with Kahoot Kids. Kahoot Kids was launched a few months ago to make Kahoot accessible and safe to even our youngest learners. By using the best read aloud technology available, we can let kids from 3 years up to play independently and learn skills such as social, emotional learning, literacy, numeracy, and cognitive skills. So we are continuing to add great learning content to Kahoot Kids weekly, and we keep adding new features to make great learning experiences. Kahoot Kids is free to try as part of the Kahoot app on iOS and Android, and it can be unlocked with a Premium Plus or EDU subscription, together with our family of learning apps. We have a wide range of award-winning apps made by our colleagues at Dragonbox and Poyo, and they let kids explore and learn to read, learn numbers, geometry, and algebra. And this year, we also created a new app called Kahoot Multiplication. This app turns the chore of memorizing the times tables into an awesome and captivating game experience. These learning apps have been super popular in many homes around the world, but we've been hearing your feedback. How do we make them even more useful to you, the teachers? So what if you could share access to all our learning apps with your students in a super easy way? And this year at Back to School, we are introducing Kahoot Student Passes. As a teacher, you will then be able to select which apps you want your students to access and simply share a QR code with your students. And by scanning this QR code, the students will get a student pass and will be able to access all our premium learning apps, like in this example, Kahoot Multiplication, and be able to practice their timetables at their own pace. With student passes, you will be able to easily provision access to all our learning apps, which are great for exploration and differentiation. We're excited about the possibilities this brings, and we hope it includes a lot of joy and learning to the kids around the world. I mean, I really wish these apps existed when I grew up, as they make learning difficult things into a game. What will also be possible to do with student passes is to give your students access to our premium question types and other advanced creator features. And this means that you can let your students create their own interactive presentations for their next assignment, either on their own or in groups. And we think that this is a great way to foster 21st century skills by using Kahoot. As well as it gives the students a voice, and they get great pride to present their Kahoots in front of their classmates. So Kahoot student passes are launching at Back to School this year and will be free to try. This year, we have even more news for students and how we want to help them learn math. To tell you all about it, here's Meira.
Thank you, Alex. Hi, everyone. My name is Meira, and I'm the math learning expert at Dragonbox, where we make math learning awesome. What we hear strongly from you teachers is how it's getting more and more difficult to differentiate math in your classrooms, as the students are so wide apart in their skills. And going back to classrooms next fall, we're anticipating that more and more students will need help to bridge the learning gaps, especially in math. So we set ourselves a challenge. What if kids could play to bridge learning gaps in math? We know that for many of you, there isn't any extra resources coming to the classrooms, so we wanted to help you solve this issue in a playful but impactful way. When kids learn by doing, not just watch and listen, they learn better and they understand better. So we have taken our digital math manipulatives, the math labs, and added a game-based element so they can be used in a classroom to match the learning needs of each kid. This means that students are able to play, explore, and experiment with digital math manipulatives, but the twist is that it feels like a game and each student can progress at their own level and pace. And that means that the teacher has more time and resources to help out the students who need it the most. All right, get ready to try out a math puzzle yourself. Scan this code to access the demo puzzle or type in dragonbox.com/xp and click test the puzzle to try it out. It is a work in progress and we haven't yet released it to thousands of people at the same time. So if you're not able to access it right now, don't worry. I will share a link again at the end. In this demo puzzle, we're operating with simple number tokens. Once you are in the activity, just grab onto the token with the value 0 and move through the operations to reach 10. For this puzzle, I put +1 and multiply by 2 as the options. Don't worry, you can try as many times as you like, test out different ideas or see just what happens. There are several possible solutions to this puzzle, as always in math, so everyone can solve it in a way that makes sense to them. But if you're looking for the fastest way, try to get to 5 and then multiply by 2. But please do share in the chat your strategy and the steps for solving it. But no matter which way you solved it, you can always try again to improve your score or even solve it with a friend. When using game-based math manipulatives, kids will start thinking logically. You get friendly with numbers, and that means that you start seeing patterns and make generalizations, and you start thinking like a mathematician. Games can really boost your students' confidence, as kids know that in game world, trial and error is part of the gameplay. There is no risk in exploring different solutions, and mistakes are just to guide you into your goal. And lastly, and most importantly, we allow kids to make their own puzzles and share them with friends. And this is where kids become the makers and creators, and where they can really apply their math into a fun and social context that is very meaningful for them. This was a short sneak peek to the game-based math manipulatives. We are working on getting them ready for the end of the year, but if you want to be part of the early testers in back-to-school times, you can sign up at this link, dragonbox.com/xp, and we'll get back to you. You can also test the puzzles there again. And one more thing for your students, there is a storm coming, and up next is our official storm maker of the company, Gonzalo Frasca, with a sneak peek to a very exciting and top secret project. So it's a very hush-hush.
Thank you, Mera. Well, my name is Gonzalo Frasca, and I'm incredibly excited today to be here because since the pandemic started, we've been working on a secret project to make math awesome. And this project is called Storm. And what is Storm? It's a new platform for learning math in short 2-minute interactive nano lessons that work on pretty much any phone on tablet. So before actually showing you, because you'll be the first people to play these nano lessons for the very first time, so get your phone ready. Before that, let me tell you about the 3 main problems that students face when learning math and how we're solving them with Storm. Well, the first challenge is that math can be pretty overwhelming. Look at those textbooks, they're giant. A lot of students just freeze because they have to learn a lot of things, but also they have to remember so many things. So how did we solve this? We sliced every single math concept into tiny, short, 2-minute interactive lessons with plenty of play. They're really easy to go through, and you go through one and another one and another one until you build up your learning. The second big challenge is understanding. You know the feeling. You're reading a textbook, you're even watching a YouTube video, and you think you're following the logic. However, when you face an exercise, well, you realize you didn't get it. You know which media solve this problem? Video games. Because video games constantly give feedback to players. They constantly know if they're doing right or wrong, how well you're doing. So we're putting all our expertise in video game making into each one of our Storm's nano lessons. And students really know that they're getting it because they can keep moving forward, just like in a video game level. And last but not least, let's face it, a lot of students just find math boring. Every teacher knows that you cannot learn without emotions. So that's exactly what we did. We created a format that students, especially teens, are very familiar with from social media, but we packed it with a lot of emotion, with characters, with storytelling, and more importantly, with play. Plenty of engaging, playful activities. So math can be learned not just by being told, but also by doing. But let's actually see a demo of an actual nano lesson at work. Here's a nano about vectors. I just slide to begin. So before we tell what vectors are, we let students play with them. So we have to reach the star, and I drag and drop these little arrows, and there you go. And now that students playfully experimented with vectors, it's time to define them. Vectors are line segments with a direction and a magnitude. That's it. And now that we define vectors, we can keep playing. Now I can tap and select all the vectors with this direction. Yeah, these two. And the ones with this magnitude, which is 2 units, yeah, those two seem to be the right ones. And to finish, we have a little quiz to check if the student understood what the definition of a vector is. There it is. And after you're done, you can continue learning with the next nano lesson. If you go right now to hellostorm.com, you will find over 40 nano lessons, from geometry to probability and statistics, and more are coming soon. This was just an example, and we have over 40 nano lessons already available at our new site, hellostorm.com. So grab your phone, go to hellostorm.com, and you can play and explore different math topics, and we'll be adding more. This is just an early look, so more content is coming. And if you want to help us, it'd be great if you could share these nanos. They're really easy to share. You can share them by just messaging or just copy and pasting a URL. Just share them with your colleagues or your students. There's something that's actually, we've done this with every student and it never fails. We let them play a nano lesson. And at first, some of them are not even that impressed because the format just feels natural to them. But then we ask one key question, and you should try this. Ask them, what if your whole math textbook was made of nano lessons? You should see their eyes go wild, and well, every one of them just begs, yes, I desperately need this. So we're working really, really hard to make this a reality. Hellostorm.com, play and share the nanos. Thank you so much. And back to you, Sean.
Wow, that was truly awesome, Gonzalo. And I know that students are really going to love that, as well as of course, the updates from Alex and Maida as well. So, well, that really concludes the part 1 of our back to school updates. Again, we have some more updates coming for you tomorrow. So please join us at the same time. And just to recap for teachers today, we saw those awesome new question types, the slider and also the drop pin and the 6 answer question types. And we're all super excited about the new game modes coming out. So hopefully you got the QR code for that. And all of these codes, all of these URLs and QR codes, etc., we will of course publish in the chat for you guys to access as well. For students, we really had a glimpse at the expanded creator access and the learning app access with student passes. And then we had a really nice look at the math labs puzzles and of course the storm. So yeah, looking forward to that. And I will also say my colleague Agneta will tell you a little bit more about Kahoot Academy and Marketplace in not so very long.